Hello YouTube friends. Today is a bit of an impromptu video, and I'm not sure if it's one that'll stay up, but I think that everyone in the fandom collectively needs a group hug, because by now everyone has heard of the official departure of Michiho and Yedem from Treasure. Despite some time passing since officially hearing the news, it's quite difficult for me to process, and I'm feeling a big plethora of emotions at the moment. I go through waves of being sad, reminiscent of the past, wondering how they're feeling, trying to be acceptant, and those kind of things. And of course, I definitely respect their choices. It's just also undeniable I can't help the emotions that come along with it. They were such a huge part of Treasure, and I honestly thought Treasure shined the most with the 12 of them together. But we have no choice but to get accustomed to the new normal. But I myself am feeling quite sad, but I still wanted to make some kind of video, to give you guys a place to talk about it as well, because I know of course you guys are feeling the same as I am. Who couldn't be, though? Michiho and Yedem played crucial parts in the group, but what's of the most utmost importance is just simply that they are happy and flourishing, and if they need to do so outside of Treasure, then we have no choice but to accept it. I just want to say that I fully respect their choices, despite any sadness on my end that comes along with it. I'm just working through my emotions and wanted to clarify that in the beginning. I don't want to look unempathetic, because as hard as it is for us to accept it, as the fandom, I know without a doubt that it was hardest for those two to make their decision, and I think it was really brave of them. I'm happy that they did what was best for them, since they felt like that's what they needed to do. It just came as a shock to me for the same reasons that it had for anyone else. Both of them had trained for the longest, so it was initially a shocker to hear they came to that choice. But as fans, we can only imagine what goes on behind the scenes. We truly have no clue. All we know is just that a brief idea of how tough the idol industry can be, and the toll that it might have taken on them. I feel like because of the years that they've put in, that could have put extra stress on them when making the decision. I also can't imagine how they must have felt telling the boys about it. It truly must have been the hardest for the boys as a whole, getting used to a new group dynamic as 10. And I'm sure they've definitely felt their absence. Definitely while preparing for a new album. And while they definitely did amazing, I can't lie, I missed Michiho and Yedem. But that could have been because I always had hopes that they'd come back. It definitely feels weird, and quite saddening, knowing they won't come back. But since Michiho's issue was described to be health related, I can't help but worry for him as well. I don't think it was mentioned what it was, and I don't really wish to know because it's none of my business. I don't want to be prying. I just hope he's been recovering well with his family and friends back home. As far as Yedem, I'm proud of him for wanting to pursue his goals as a producer. I know I saw some people confused why he couldn't do that with Treasure, since Hyunsuk and the others can produce. But maybe he just realized that the idol life might not be for him. From what I see, I don't think I could handle it. It seems as though netizens can be so cruel and nitpick a lot of things that you do. Whether it's how you perform and wanting to criticize you even though you work so many hours of the day, or I know netizens can be particularly harsh when it comes to someone's looks. But all of these things I would imagine can take a toll on your mental health. But I can't speak for Yedem, nor am I trying to. Just that's my thought process. Maybe he thought it wasn't for him. But regardless, I know we all support his decision and we're all ready to cheer him and Michiho both wherever life takes them. And I'm not really sure if I'm articulating myself too well. After all, I'm trying to work through my own feelings as well. Being with them for so long as a fan, it makes you feel quite down in the dumps when something happens. As this has been going on, I've been working on my 4 years with Hyunsuk video, and it's been making me look very heavily on the past, and every moment I've spent admiring Hyunsuk has also naturally been me admiring Treasure as a whole. You can't love one without the other. As much as I've felt indebted to Hyunsuk, it's only natural to be a fan of all 12. I've never once in my life been a solo stan of any group that I liked. In fact, I usually don't stan groups unless I have a liking to every member. So when anything like this happens to any group, it hits me hard. But Treasure are like my home, so I think this hurts me the hardest. Despite the lengthy amount of time that they'd been gone, I always had the hope that they'd come back. I never once wanted to show impatience, like I couldn't wait for them to come back. I could accept that I'd wait however long I had to until they came back, but I did begin to worry after a while. But I always tried to stay optimistic since I see Hyunsuk doing the same all the time. You guys know how I like to mimic him when I can. But even despite trying to mentally prepare for this outcome in the back of my mind, it still felt unreal to see this. But this video wasn't made with the purpose for us to sulk in sadness. Rather, it was made in hopes we can work through our feelings together in a shared support for the two, despite them leaving. I think Mashiho and Yedam would both know very well how we support them strongly, and we're all sending them love wherever they go. Even with them leaving, our love won't fade. It's important now more than ever to show them that we'll always have our memories of them with the other boys. That won't change. Our memories will live forever in our heart. So in a way, Odd 12 won't fade, but the best thing we can do is just being supportive of them all in these times, and support each other as a fandom. I don't think I'm making too much sense entirely, but I just wanted to talk to you guys about it. Just doing a small community post didn't feel quite right, but I'm still not entirely sure of all my feelings. It's a lot of things going on, but on top of supporting Mashiho and Yedam, let's support and comfort each other too, okay? I'm sending lots of love to you all. That's just simply what I wanted to say. I'm not sure if I'll leave this video up, but until next time, I'll be going. Bye bye. Love you all.